While repairing any car, sometimes you will find some not discovered parts. There are several ways to find them all. The first way to do so is by entering the car. Right-click and hold the right button and use the test path option. This will bring you to a little track you have to follow, that will execute 4 different tests. A little note: while completing the path, at the end you have to stop your car in the red area. At the end of it, you will discover the biggest part of the condition related to the brakes and the suspensions. A little note: if the engine won't start, or there are some missing parts, or even liquids, you cannot go to the test path. Therefore, you have to solve every single problem before you will be able to go there. Once you have enough money, you can also buy the test path for your garage. This will allow you to check the same pieces but faster. Continue searching for the non-discovered parts. To complete the suspensions check, you have to click and hold with the right button on top of the car. Then enter inside the examine mode. Now move your mouse upon each tire and click and hold with the left mouse button. Plus, using the lift, raise the car and control also the connection of the suspensions between the tires. Speaking about the tires, buying from the toolbox the tire tread gauge. In the dismantling mode, you can use it from the additional tools. This will check every single tire of the car, but it won't check the rims. In fact, they can be checked only manually by removing the tire. Before placing back the tires, you have to keep in mind that between them there is sometimes also a steering rack that you cannot control with any tool. In fact, to check it, after removing the tires, you have to remove also the inner and the outer tie rod. It will allow you to remove also the steering rack in order to check its conditions. Speaking about the gearbox system, you can check only the drive shaft using the examination mode. This means that if you have any problems with the gearbox, you have to control it manually. This means that you have to remove the drive shaft, the gearbox and the other pieces all the way till the flywheel. Speaking about another tool, you can take the fuel pressure meter. This will allow you to check every single piece related to fuel, but you still have to check the fuel tank by yourself. Speaking about the exhaust system, you can control part of it using the examination mode. But to control the exhaust parts that you cannot check this way, you are forced to remove the exhaust manifold and front exhaust pipes from the side of the engine, and the intake manifold from the upper section of it. Speaking about the engine itself, using the onboard diagnostic, you can check the electronic parts of it, like the spark plugs and ignition coils. The problem is that you cannot use this tool on too old cars. Keep in mind that the onboard diagnostic will also check the ABS module, but not the ABS pump. In case the car is too old, the electronic parts of the engine can be accessed from the head cover. Removing the electronics part and the cover, you can access the mechanical parts of the engine. To check these parts without dismantling the engine, you have to buy the compressor tester, and it can be used only on engines that are working. While removing manually these parts, you can access the engine head that cannot be controlled with any tool. Under the engine heads, you will find the pistons that can be checked with the compressor tester. Another part of the engine you cannot check is the oil filter and the oil pan. Both can be accessed from the bottom side of the engine. Keep in mind that if you won't drain the oil using the specific tool, you will lose 100 credits if there is some oil inside before removing the oil pan. But removing it will give you access to the crankshaft. This part can be checked with the compressor tester, but the crankshaft bearing caps that keep it connected to the engine cannot be controlled with any tool. Attached to the crankshaft you will find also the pistons that are fixed to the crankshaft with the rod caps. The last part conditions cannot be checked with any tool, so you have to remove every single rod cap by yourself. A little note: some parts of the engine have to be checked with the examination mode. Attached to the bottom side of the engine you will find another part you cannot check with any tool, that is the power steering pump. While in the frontal part you will find the water pump that also cannot be checked with any tool. The last tool you can buy is the electrical multimeter. It will check biggest part of electrical parts like the battery, alternator and fuses. But it won't check the fuse box container itself. This one can be checked with the examination mode. In this mode you also can check every single fluid container and the air filtration system as well. Another part you cannot check with any tool is the radiator. But before removing it, in order to check its condition, remember to drain also the coolant liquid, otherwise you will lose 50 credits.